James Renault and Mark Gannon here for another IEEPA tariff refund video, and this is an important one, and that is IEEPA tariff refund eligibility, why the start and end dates matter. And it's a big deal because of the fact that these tariffs didn't always exist, at least the tariffs that were eligible or are eligible for the refund. And there's a certain time frame that those tariffs were charged. Um, so that you can have the eligibility for the refund, and that time period has now stopped. So, Mark, if you just want to talk about that, well, what those dates are, why they stopped, and why that matters for someone looking for those refunds.
Okay. Thanks, James. G'day, everyone. How are you all? Thanks for tuning in. We're appreciating the feedback. It's nice to have you on board. So, just to continue what James is saying, just to be aware is, firstly, James and I aren't lawyers. We're not attorneys. We're just two fellas in this area, and we're just giving you information just to keep you informed of what's going on. What we suggest that you do is go and get proper legal advice on this, because these cases now, there are eligibility windows, and I'll talk briefly about that shortly. But they're finishing. So now the tariffs, if you're going to be claiming them or recovering them, are a legal issue. But you have to go to an attorney that specializes in tariff law. It's not your normal attorney down the road or local attorney. And go to an attorney with experience, because there's a mad rush now for attorneys to get qualified in this particular area of tariff law. But then, think about it. If they're only just getting the qualifications, why the heck would you go to someone with just brand new qualifications? You want someone who knows and has actually argued in the International Court of Trade. So, so the IEEPA tariffs, they originally started in February of last year, 2025. And that's when Donald Trump was just literally just tariffing everyone. Um, now, uh, sorry, that's when the Supreme Court actually made a ruling that they're unconstitutional. Then there was a whole movement um, on how and why it should be done. There was back and forth between Trump and the Customs and Border Patrol departments and the court system, and it actually finished. So the IEEPA-based tariffs officially ended at 12 a.m. Eastern Time on February 24th. Now they were replaced by another. There's still tariffs out there, but it's another type of tariff. It's called Section 301 and 232. It's still a tariff, but it's not the IEEPA tariff. So when James and I talk about IEEPA tariffs, it's basically from February 2025 to the 24th of February 2026. So you've only got that time. Why that is important is there is a limitation of claiming. Firstly, there's a 2 year. James, did you remember in the past documentation there was a 2 year statutes of, what did they
Yeah,
call
like
it?
a
Limit.
statute. I don't know if they call it statute of limitations, but there is a time is of the essence to go after this time period, because if you're late, you get less access to these funds.
That's it. That's it. It's a window. That's what I was trying to say. It's a window that's closing. It's called liquidation. So that's the tariff term for it. It means that the tariffs are finalizing, and then that means you can't go back and claim them. So every day so for those people who are sitting on the sidelines and saying, "Oh, look, I shouldn't," there's a definite end. There's a definite window that's closing. And that means that every day that you're losing that smidgen of how much you can claim. So it is really important.
Yeah, time is of the essence, and it's important to know those dates. And we broke down other windows relating to, like, for example, the Cape portal. The bottom line is, for the majority of the tariffs that you can get refunds for, it must go through litigation. But with that being said, there are options, and we work with a partner. There's going to be a link below. You fill out a quick form. It takes about a minute to fill out. They see that you qualify, and then they walk you through the process. But litigation doesn't mean a long time because um, there are partners that are available that are willing to get you money upfront or very, very quickly within a matter of days, if not a couple of weeks. Lenders that are so confident in this process, regardless of whether or not it goes, whether or not a court case is successful, they
Mhm.
can get you those funds early. So don't be scared of litigation. That means it's going to be this exorbitant price or this exorbitant amount of time. Our team will walk you through that. Fill out the form. It's free to fill out, and there's no cost to fill out that form. And then we'll have someone reach out to you and talk about the process because they are going after this extremely fast and diligently, and they know exactly all the nuances of what we talk about in these videos. They're helpful. At the same time, it makes you recognize the breadth and depth of this process going over those refunds. And that's why we strongly recommend that you work with the appropriate legal counsel, of which there are roughly 100 plus lawyers that are even capable of doing this. We work with a top
Mm.
100 law firm that specializes in this with over 40 years experience. The bottom line is click on that link below, fill it out, and then they will take you through this process. So Mark, final words on this particular video.
Very simple. Just don't wait. Don't wait. There's literally no risk in what we're doing. Um, there's no risk to you. The money's there. The money is available. You will hit yourself on the back of the head if you don't jump on it right now. So thank you, James.
All right, click the link below, fill out that form, and we will reach out to you.